Okay. Well, hello everyone. It has been way too long since I've done a YouTube video. I've been traveling a lot lately, doing things I'm very proud of, and I've just been wanting to show that to you guys. I haven't had time to sit down and be like, here I am again. I went through and watched my old questions and answers video and was like, oh my goodness, everything has changed. Ugh, I need to do a new one. Here's to a fresh start. Today I'll be drinking from this lovely Charlie Brown Christmas mug. Christmas is my favorite holiday, my favorite time of year. Winter in general, I adore, which most people are so shocked to hear. Everyone starts wearing just the coolest outfits, like long jackets and dudes in pea coats and scarves and all this, and I'm like, it's so good. No one asked what my favorite season was. I just decided to tell you what my favorite season is and why, and go in a long tangent like I always do. So I got the questions and I'm going to give you the answers. What is your daily routine? It varies so much depending on the day itself, but typically my daily morning routine, let's just do that, is I wake up, get a good cup of coffee, typical, then I'll go for a walk or work out first thing in the morning because I find that that wakes me up and gets me going and all of that, which is incredibly important because I'm a very sleepy person. I love my naps and my sleep and all of that. Cats or lions? Is this even a question? I'm pretty sure we all know the answer is lions. Are your eyelashes real? Yes, 100% real. I would never do anything fake. No, fake eyelashes or hair extensions or anything like that. What mascara do you use? Mascara is my favorite makeup product, so I've tried so many different kinds of them and they all work well for me. I don't really have a favorite. I practically switch it up every time. I just like a really black, like very black mascara, and typically a nice short brush because then you can, Favorite movie? Movies are my all-time love. I would have to say that picking a favorite is nearly impossible. The last one that I watched was Some Like It Hot, with Tony Curtis and Marilyn Monroe and who was the other guy's name? Anyway, it was absolutely hilarious. It's so like old school humor, so maybe it won't appeal to everybody, but I thought it was great. I was belly laughing through the entire thing. It was so good. How did you become who you are now? I don't know. I've always surrounded myself with culture, whether it's being in a city with a lot of people around me or going to plays and museums and culture and just experiencing life and traveling. That is, I believe, what makes you who you are. Have you always had your hair the way it is, or have you ever had a different look? I have had many different haircuts. I've had it very short. I've had it in like a bob and bangs. I've even had like an asymmetrical thing going on. I was always experimenting, and then I finally just grew my hair out. I prefer it long and, voluminous the way it is. But if a role came and they were like, he wants you to cut your hair a little bit, I would consider it. Favorite album from the 60s? Begin Here by the Zombies. I just love the album. It's so 1960s. To me, it embodies a lot of the trends that were going on in the 60s. If you want, I have a playlist called Honey Honey on Spotify. I've got so many things on there, such a broad range of music, My favorite thing is to walk around with headphones in and just observe everybody around me. To really just get a sense of the city and a feeling for life. It makes everything very cinematic to look at. Favorite cereal? I'm gluten-free, so Cheerios are gluten-free. I like Cheerios. I don't know. Chicago or NYC? And that's really hard. They're so completely different. New York is everything I love. It's everything I've been waiting for. And it lives up to every expectation that I've had of it. I love, people with the thickest New York accents and they know the city like the back of their hand. I think people in the Midwest have a different, kind of way about them than East Coast or West Coast does. Chicago has a sentimental thing to me as it is where my career began. They both have phenomenal jazz clubs, which is the most important part of any city. If you had a different job for a day, what would it be? I'd be a baker or like a chef. I would be in a kitchen just cooking and baking for everybody. If you could have dinner with one 20th century rock star, dead or alive, who would it be? It's quite hard as most of the music I listen to is from the 20th century. I would say Lou Reed, if he counts as a rock star. He did do rock, he did a lot of different genres, but I would love to have dinner with him. But if he doesn't count, then Mick Jagger or David Bowie. Could I just have a dinner party with like a ton of 1960s rock stars? What do you think about art? Definitely something that I can't live without. Who or what was instrumental in developing your music taste? I grew up going to concerts since I was about 2. When I was older and was finding music myself, I fell in love with Frank Sinatra. I still am. How many shots of Farrah Fawcett spray do you use? I heard Steve Harrington on Stranger Things talking about this spray. I don't use it, but he has pretty phenomenal hair, so maybe I'll have to try it out. What's your favorite place to shop for clothes? You know, Reformation, Topshop. But my all-time favorite thing to do is vintage shop. Especially if you live in cities and stuff, you're surrounded by the best kind of vintage shopping there is. All it is about keep going back. Like, all the places I go to, they like know me by name. They're like, oh hi Elizabeth. I'm like, oh hi. Just because you have to constantly be looking, you know, because it can pop up the perfect pair of Levi's and then be gone the next day because everyone's looking for a good pair of Levi's. I found a few that just fit perfectly. Like, a good pair of Levi's is hard to come by, so when you do not pass them up. What is your biggest inspiration and strongest dream or desire in life? That's a good question. I would say my biggest inspiration comes from films. Like I've said, I'm a huge movie buff, and I love it because you see the different characters' personalities and the different conflicts that are caused by different personalities, and seeing the style and just the way the director views life and looks at things, I think is very interesting. I also love to watch films because I think to myself, like, oh, if I was playing that role, would I have done that? What would be my interpretation on it? So that's where I get most of my inspiration from. Strongest dream and desire in life is definitely to travel and be surrounded by people I love. So we're done. My Instagram handle is @Elizabeth Wheeland. I'll put that and all my other social media in my the description box down below. So yeah, bye for now, and I'll see you next time.